What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Mic with Michael Flix. Very happy to be back. I got the host of the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, my guy BJ Matthews. I appreciate you being on the show today, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely, bro. What you been up to, man? Last time I saw you and spoke to you, we just talked about a little bit off camera. Last time I saw you and spoke to you, you had just finished up playing for the San Diego Kings in the ABA here in town.
Yeah, man. So
what you been up to since then, man?
Since then, that's when the pandemic happened. But I tore my Achilles right at the midst of the season. And then when after that happened, the playoffs and the whole COVID kind of shut everything down.
That's right.
And what's funny is that I actually got offered a deal to go play in Dubai right after I tore my Achilles.
Oh, man.
So it was like a double whammy, the COVID
sure.
and then also with the contract. So, but God willing, man, I found something else I love, and that's the podcast I've been doing since then. I was like, I got to do something else while I heal up. I can't just be sitting around. So, my major in college was communications. So once I had that going, I said, why not start a podcast? Everybody's at home chilling, watching all these interviews and shows like that. I said, I got my homeboy, my best friend, Rick Masters, shout out to Rick, my co-host. He and I just came with the idea, man, like, let's start a podcast, man. We know basketball through and through. We've been playing since we was kids. Like, why not us? So since then, I found something that I have a passion just as much as me as being a player playing. So that's kind of what I've been doing, bro. And also just spending time, with God, family, friends, all that good stuff, man.
I hear you. That's what's up, man. What college did you go to?
I went to UTSA, Texas San Antonio. Okay. And I went a year at JUCO at Grossmont.
Okay. And you say you majored in communications. Did you plan to use that degree in radio and broadcasting? Was that the goal in college?
Yeah, man, because it's so broad, right? It's such a broad, field. You could do writing.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah, so basically what I did, I said, whatever it picks for me, I like to write. So radio and broadcasting really wasn't up my scale, but journalism and things like that was kind of like my thing since I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, and I watched the basketball playoffs, I would literally write down the scores and like who was the best player, MVP, like weird shit. And it was just like, I enjoyed doing that. So I said, I have a gift of writing. So that's what I've been doing. I majored in journalism as a minor.
Did that writing translate in other areas? Did you ever write short stories or poetry or anything like that?
Yeah, but dumb shit like with females. You write poetry when you in high school and stuff like that, just to test it out. So poetry, just like I said with the basketball writing, and also just in general, bro, I just love to write. That's always been my thing.
I asked because that's the kind of writing I was always into. It started off with actually for me started off in elementary school. My first and second grade teachers had really big. I'm so sorry. Really big with in poetry, and it's poetry and writing short stories. So I got really into it in elementary school and always did it. And then so I started writing poetry myself. I want to say in maybe 6th, 7th grade.
Yes, sir.
And for sure, same thing. I'll be writing poetry. That was my bag, though.
Yeah.
For the girls in middle school and high school, that was my bag for sure. And then turned into writing music, writing poetry, writing music, and then even for a full-time hoops here in town, I wrote a couple of articles for him for his website.
Yeah.
I've always been big into writing myself.
Yeah, man. Writing is therapeutic to me, man. Like even with the broadcasting I do, I still do writing on the side. Like I write little articles, with the NBA and meeting different journalists and stuff like that. Like I love doing that. I don't think people kind of get I'll do it for free. So it's just I feel like God gives us all gifts and talents that we have, and if you can do it for free, that means that's your passion. So I feel like outside of basketball playing, writing was always something I just love to do.
And we'll get off writing in a minute, but how's your writing, how has it come into play with your podcast?
So, just like anything in basketball, man, if the more dimensional you are, like communications with broadcasting, radio, journalism, I guess you can be in front of the camera, things like that. There's different ways that you can be into the NBA podcasting business. So one way I did, I know the LA Clippers beat writer for it. I know the Clippers are my team, my favorite team. So I was able to meet a few people in the industry. So I know their LA Clip beat writer, Law Murray, and he actually allowed me to do a couple columns with him that he posts on his Twitter page. So little stuff like that, man, is just, get your skills up in practicing and things of that nature. So that's one way I kind of got indulged in that.
I hear it. That's dope, man. Now I know how difficult and how strenuous it could be to start a podcast and to consistently keep it going, dropping new episodes and being consistent with it. What were some of the obstacles you've kind of run into with starting and maintaining a podcast?
Bruh, where do I start? So first of all, just knowing what the hell to do, like setting up the equipment and stuff like that, the sound. Where do I get my podcast out? I was doing it in my bedroom, bro. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like you can do it in the studio, but of course, studio time and stuff like that. So just the basic things like the sound, the music, the what topics you're gonna pick, what your skill, what you're gonna be, focusing on in the NBA. It's a lot of things that you have to go into, and also social media. You got to publicize your podcast. You got to find ways to make it, known out there in the world because you're competing against other, basketball podcasts, whatever your field may be, music. And with that being said, and it comes to, also, algorithms too. You have to learn a whole bunch of things with YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff, bro. And I'm like, damn, I'm just trying to put some content out.
Right.
But it comes with rules. So that's been the tricky thing, but I've enjoyed the process, bro.
I hear it now. With your the name being the Pull Up Basketball Podcast, is it just like any kind of basketball talk, or is it like specific to the NBA, or like what is the kind of like the parameters that you like to stay in?
Right. So it's specifically NBA. I touch on college a little bit, but now that I'm getting more and more people coming onto the podcast, I'm doing more broad topics. So it's not just, okay, let's talk about the NBA playoffs. Now it's about, well, how can we improve the youth? What's with the AAU scene? How do we feel about that? How do you feel about this league? How do you feel ways we can make basketball in general better globally? So I'm touching just not the league. I'm touching so much other things because you got to be diverse, man. Because basketball is global now.
Absolutely.
It's not like you in the States, you're just dealing with Americans. You're dealing with people in Asia, Africa, South America, Mexico, Puerto Rico, like so many different.
One pick was from France.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Victor Wembanyama. You got 4 guys right now: Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, and Joel Embiid. They've been top 5 players in the league. And it used to be in the States when you play against other countries over the waters. They used to be like, okay, the States ain't losing. Like they scared of the States anyway. That's not happening no more. Like these players overseas, bro, are coming over here and actually doing work in our own country. But yeah, man, it's a global sport now, so you gotta be diverse.
Absolutely. You've been able to land some pretty key guests, pretty big name guests. You had Steve Kerr on the show I've seen pretty recently.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the other guests and how you're able to land guests of that caliber.
Steve Kerr. So Steve Kerr, actually, I live in Oceanside. He has his house over in Carlsbad, which is like 15 minutes from me. So I'm outside, right, in a walking area, and I'm chilling, like how we chilling right now. I'm sitting down. And I see this cat with some sunglasses on. I'm like, nah, that can't be. Nah, ain't right. But I took a deeper look, and I'm like, bro, that's Steve Kerr. So he kind of gave me a little bit of eye contact. Me personally, like when you meet a celebrity, you can't come off as being like, oh, let me get you out of here. Yeah. So I came up to, we went to real cool, and I'm like, hey, coach, I appreciate everything you've done with the Warriors, And we actually had a conversation for like 10, 15 minutes, just how cool I came at him. Nice. And then I told him I got my podcast and everything like that. Now, initially, the conversation ended, and he said we went our separate ways, but I was still sitting down. He comes back and walks towards to me. He's like, hey, I would love to be on your podcast sometime. What? Me? And he's like, yeah, why don't you, here's my number, here's my email, hit me up. So I kept in contact with him, man. Super cool guy, dope. Got a chance to kind of develop a relationship with him, and it's been great. Rob Parker is my mentor. I had Ryan Hollins. I had Rick Bucher, Marcellus Wiley, Meta World Peace, of course. A couple of the homies from, overseas I've known that I played with. They come on the podcast. So it's been a great thing. And how I land them, bro, is just, I believe, just the right place at the right time. Like, of course, you can only do so much networking, but I truly believe in God putting you in positions that make you successful, bro. That's just me, personally. So I've just been lucky to be in the right position.
You said Rob Parker is your mentor. How long have you known him?
3 years.
How did you meet him, and how have you, developed that relationship?
So, Rob, I just hit him up on Instagram, and bro, it's kind of weird, like, social media, you can get celebrities kind of hit you up. Like, they will probably give you a message back. So I just direct message Rob. I was like, hey, Rob, how you doing? I'm trying to meet new people and stuff like that. And then it comes about that he responds back to me. And I say, hey, man, I would love to meet you one day and, actually have, a conversation, sit down and eat. Gave me the address, all that stuff.
Wow.
Bro, it's again, I can't say it's God, bro. That's really all it is. And it's, again, I put so much work into like this podcast, I do the same thing as I was playing basketball. And you probably know this is, like you said, it's hard doing this. Like, you more experienced than me, so I can't even imagine what you had to do to build your stuff up. So it's the same thing with the podcasting, bro. Like, I take the same mindset that I take on the court, like the same competitive edge, I put that in this. And that's why I feel like, you know, good things happen when you put yourself in position and you work for it. That's why I truly believe.
Absolutely. You said this guy, you're a pretty religious guy?
Oh, yeah, that's my number one, man, of course.
Hey, what, if you don't mind me asking, what religion are you?
Christian.
Okay, me too. Me too, yeah. Was born a Christian, man. My parents are, my dad is actually a minister. My dad's a pastor. So I was born, he wasn't a pastor when I was born, he's a minister, but, you know, I've always been, I grew up in the church, so I'm pretty religious myself. I don't, just admittedly, I don't go to church as much as I probably should.
That's cool.
Definitely maintain a relationship with God, pray a lot, talk to God a lot, read my Bible. I've actually recently gotten more into reading my Bible. Went to church with a friend of mine, and that kind of like got me back into it, you know what I mean? I was like, this is what I need to be doing consistently, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. For sure, man. Yeah, man, like my Bible verse on my side is, if God is with me, who can be against me, in Proverbs. So I live by that, bro, that code, like, you know what I'm saying? I have no worries as long as I have him on my side. So that's kind of what I live by.
Same. Absolutely. Let's get back into a little bit of you play ball in college, correct?
Yeah.
Were you able to play all 4 years?
Nah, so here's the kicker. So, like I said, I tore my Achilles my first year in college. So that was actually something where I tore it 2 weeks before the season started. So I missed the whole year. First time it happened, I'm like, somebody kicked me. So I'm looking around like, man, somebody kicked me in the back of the heel. And then, like, I look around, nobody's there. I didn't know what was going on at the time. First time me tearing my Achilles, I go to the doctor. They say, hey, look, you out for the season. First time I really had an injury. I never had an injury in high school, never had an injury at AAU, so it's all new to me. And once that happened, that first year is down the drain. I was so depressed I couldn't play that I ended up flunking the second year of college, and then I couldn't play the second year. So that's 2 years. Then I go to UTSA.
This is at Grossmont, these first 2 years?
No, the first year was at Grossmont. The second year was at another junior college. I was in Texas at the time.
Okay.
So the coach, my trainer at the time, he knew the Division I coach at UTSA to get me in there. So once that happened, you know, he said, look, you can come in as a walk-on. So I came in as a walk-on my junior year. But after my junior year, I said, well, I got two options. I can play my senior year, or I could try to go the ABA route. So I decided to go the semi-pro route and play in the ABA at the time. And it was, you know, I think the better decision because I was able to get experience against other college guys who played and other pros as well. So it was more so like an experience where had I not got injured the first year, I think things would have been much different.
I used to have a certain opinion of the ABA, but after like being a part of the Kings and watching it and seeing how most guys, the more successful teams, how they run their teams and how they go about things, it's definitely a place where you can go to keep your career alive and like find somewhere else to play. Absolutely.
Facts, man. Kings was, and that was a great time with playing with the Kings, and like a lot of guys I still cool with, Manny Brax, Spencer, Mon. I'm still cool with Coach Damian, Davion, all of them are like cool. So, you know, that was a good time playing with the Kings, honestly.
Absolutely. Are you're from San Diego, correct?
Yeah, straight from Spring Valley.
Okay, so what high school did you go to?
Here's the thing. I left right before high school. I would have went to Monte Vista. My big sister went to Monte Vista. I ended up moving to Texas my freshman year in high school.
Okay.
And I went to live in Dallas for those 4 years. So my story's a little bit, you know, California, I'm from here, but Texas, I got a taste of that too. So best of both worlds.
Which one do you prefer?
Oh, Cali for sure.
Okay. Did you enjoy Texas though?
Yeah, bro. It's different. The people are different. It's the first time I ever heard the word sir. Like, yes, sir.
Like S-I-R?
Yeah, okay. Sir. Like, I heard people calling older people like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir. Like, I wasn't used to hearing that here. So it's like, it's a difference, but it's something where I did enjoy it. The food was really good. The people were, you know, really friendly. And, yeah, man, I enjoyed my time, but I'm definitely going to be.
What was the reason for the move to Texas?
Oh, family just felt like it was a better place to live and much cheaper. A lot of people from California moved to Texas.
Facts.
So it's like, it's no different from what my family did.
And then so what brought you back?
Well, I played for the TBL with this team called the San Diego Waves, like in 2019. Okay. So I moved back, like, right after college, I ended up coming back here to play in the TBL. So when I played in there, that's what said, okay, look, we want to sign you. So I played with the Waves. That was before the Moguls and the Sharks. I played in the TBL, and then I went straight to the Kings after that.
Okay, got you. Okay. Now back to the podcast.
Yeah.
With you starting the podcast and maintaining the podcast, tell me some of the goals for the podcast, and like what are some of the future plans and what you see yourself doing, you and your partner doing with the podcast.
So short-term goals, bro, obviously like the subscribers up to, we're trying to get to like around 5,000. We're at about 3,000 right now. We're trying to get to about 5K. If not by the end of this year, definitely sometime early next year.
You mean like YouTube or Spotify? Like
YouTube for sure. And then also just another one is just basically just reaching more avenues of different people, just not basketball. See, the vision I have, man, is to reach different people, whether you be in music, entertainment, sports, life. Like, I'm touching all different topics. So that's where my personal goals want to be, to touch different venues of people. Like, it's just bigger than just basketball in the NBA now. So that's one of my really main difficult goals. I want to actually have more valuable guests as they keep coming. I don't want to just stop at Steve Kerr and be like, oh, that's it. No, I'm going to keep building. I want to keep having this NBA player, this NBA coach, this entertainer, something like that. That is me personally what I truly want.
And see, that's what I've been on lately too, man. I don't want to just wanting to interview more than just people in the sports world is why I ended up creating another show. Because like I have, like this show On the Mic it's always going to be a sports show. Like, it's always going to be a coach or a player or an agent, a GM, a team owner. It's always going to be someone in the sports world. I'm going to have another show where I bring on like, rappers and artists and entrepreneurs and stuff like that.
Dope.
And it's funny, I was just talking to somebody about that recently. I was like, I kind of feel like I should like merge the two. But like but I've decided not to. I like having the separation of both. And I'm not saying you should go that route as well.
No, you're good.
But I'm just saying like I like having the separation. But yeah, man, I think we kind of like we pigeonholed ourselves that we only interview people in the sports world, or only athletes, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like if you have a curiosity for something and you're interested in it, and this person has a story to tell, then why not talk to them?
Yeah, man, it's definitely just a change of numbers, man. You reach more people as you get to different venues, and it's like anything in life, bro. The more options you have, bro, like it makes you more valuable. Even you take it in basketball, like if I can play multiple positions, like say LeBron, for example, play at point guard, play small forward, play power forward. It's like, man, this dude can play 3-4 different positions. I can use him on different aspects of the court, right. No questions asked. Vice versa, this other guy over here can just play shooting guard, shoot the ball. It's cool, but I'm choosing the guy who's 6'8", who can play both ways and also score the ball at a high clip. It's more valuable. It's the same thing with life, how I look at it.
Got you. Who's your favorite team in the NBA?
Oh, the Clippers.
Yeah, you said that at the start. Who's your favorite player?
Kawhi.
Oh, okay. Was he your favorite player before he played for the Clippers?
Yeah, so okay. It's funny. When I was in Texas at the time and I was playing ABA my first year, and that was in San Antonio, I played for this team called the Texas Fuel. So I had a chance to meet Kawhi when he was baby Kawhi. And, people say Kawhi is like, this quiet person, man. Actually, he's actually completely opposite what he does in the media from the interactions I've had and actually been around him. Now, he is a person who is to himself, but in my opinion, I think that he's more so just, he allows certain people to come close to him, whether that be because of what happened to his pops or what, how he was raised. I just think he allows only a certain group of people around him to really kind of get that close. And that's why I think his demeanor how it is with the media. That's just my personal opinion.
I respect it. I'm definitely more like outgoing to the public than he is, way more outgoing to the public than he is, but I'm the same way. A lot of people, they see me out and they like, I hear like the perception, like, oh, Flix is a really quiet dude. Like, he don't really say much. He just kind of, and it's true. Like, when I'm out, I don't really, you know what I mean? The people that know me, they know, like, I engage more and I speak more. But when I'm out, like, I show up, I do my job, and I get back to the crib and get back to my editing. But the people that really know me, they be like, he's not quiet at all. There's no way, no. If you really knew him, you would never say he's quiet. So like I said, I'm more like publicly like outgoing than Kawhi is, but I'm similar in that way. Like, I'm definitely more outgoing around the people that I know and trust.
Jay, that's me too. And I'm gonna ask you this question: do you get that persona? Sometimes people think that you may be a little rude if you don't speak. Like
rude and cocky, I've gotten that before.
And I'm like, well, wait, I'm running my business. You over here talking about me? Like, how is it that you so bothered how I'm reacting, bro? Like, that's how I am too, man. Like I feel like it's a certain time to really speak, a certain time to be quiet.
I agree.
And you gotta sit still to a point where if you want to hear everything around you, you can't be always in the crowd trying to, be in the mix. That's just how it is. I feel like I'm gonna sit back in the cut for a minute, just analyze and watch what's going on.
Oh yeah, that's me for sure.
And that's what makes you wise, bro. Like I feel like the wise man is the quietest man in the room. That's what I truly think.
And see, although it isn't true, a friend of mine had to help me see like a different. It isn't true like me like being cocky or standoffish, but someone had to explain it to me how it could come off to other people to where like I could see how people would think that about me.
Right.
So like for me, like I'll show up to a gym to film a game, and at certain gyms that I go to, I get a lot of love in certain gyms.
Right.
Like a lot of love. I'm shaking a bunch of hands.
Yeah.
The crowd, like the student
Kings,
section might chant my name, like you know what I mean? So I get a lot of love in certain gyms I go in. And when I got my brother told me, like, you got a different swag about you when you got that camera in your hand, bro.
Right.
So I didn't notice it, but other people have told me that. So I'm walking with a certain bop when I got my camera, you know what I mean? And I'm really confident. I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
And then I'm really tunnel vision. So like somebody might call my name and I'm not ignoring them. I legit don't hear you because if I'm walking across the gym, like I'm going to plug my battery up.
Right.
I'm going to go get a better angle from where I'm shooting at. I'm working.
Right.
So I don't really hear you when I'm working. So you put all of that together, you know what I'm saying? So it could be easy for someone to perceive that I'm trying to ignore you, that I'm thinking I'm this big shot when that's the complete opposite.
Right.
Like I'm super, super approachable. I'm super chill. I speak to everybody. But if one of my friends had to like put all of that together for me I was like, you know what? You're right. You know
Yeah, and that happened to me too. I feel like, and it's just my personal opinion, I think the worst thing a man can be is on this earth without his purpose. He don't know why he's here. So when you tell me that shows me that you know where you're going, that shows where you at, what you're doing in your life, and that's powerful, bro. And I think you can reach so many different people with just that mindset alone. And once you focus on your craft and what you truly want to do, you come near damn near unstoppable. Once you know who you truly are and the power that you truly have, bro, you become very dangerous out here. And I had to learn that, you know what I'm saying, down the line, bro. I did not know anything but basketball. When I got saved, when I actually, gave my life to God and I got into podcasting, bro, I became looking at life in a wholly different realm. And I said, I need to know what my purpose is. What am I here for? How can I impact this person, the next person? Because that's what it's going to be about. Once you're dead and gone, how will people remember you? How will they look at you? What will they say about Mike? What will they say about BJ? What will they say about so-and-so? And how you reach people is very powerful. Like, look at Kobe, still being talked about to this day. He's been out for damn near, 3 years? So it's like he's more popular that he's gone than he was. That's sad, but how do you reach people? And that's why I'm going for right now.
Oh yeah, that's my whole goal, man. I wanna be able to reach, speak to, and inspire as many people as I can. I'm here to just serve, bro. I'm here to, my platform is your platform. Like I'm a build with you build with me, and I'm just here to like what do you need? Like I got a certain skill set, I got a certain collection of talents, and these are all for me to help people. I'm just here for people. Like everything that I know how to do, everything that I'm good at, I try to use those things to help others and to prop up others. Yeah,
I tell homies, I'll be like, bro, find your purpose, man. Tell me why you really want to hear and how can you impact others, bro. Like, find your purpose, know what you want to do, and monetize off of that, bro. And once you do that, you got it. Like I'm also very, big on with black men doing what they doing, bro. Because I see the power that we have when you choose to, find your purpose. It's a beautiful thing, bro. And what you got going on here, bro, like keep doing what you're doing, man, for sure, because you can reach so many different people, man. And I think that it's real important for somebody to actually have that, that mindset to be like, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to impact others. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I see you doing the same thing as well, man. Like I said, you really, I haven't been able to watch all of them, just honestly. I watched the Steve Kerr, I think I want to say like two for sure, maybe 3 other interviews as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got a good thing going, man. I like your show, bro. Yeah. Definitely something to keep going with and to keep pushing forward with, absolutely.
Respect, bro.
For sure. I appreciate you pulling up on me today, man. It was an honor having you on the show.
You too, my brother.
You definitely got a fan and a supporter and a listener in the podcast and me, man. So yeah, definitely keep pushing forward, bro.
Man, you already know what it is with me all day, man. Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, my guy. It's been another episode of the On the Mic on the Mic with Michael Flix show. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Until next time. Take care.
Yes, sir. Peace.